especially in the bushes where some of the animals' natural colorings help them blend in very well with their environment. Over here on the left, look at the top though. You see that reddish colored antelope? Oh, here's one in better view. These are called bongo. Bongo are nicknamed the ghosts of the forest because they're rarely seen. They're very shy. Oh, here's one coming up real close, right behind the bamboo.
Where?
Oh, no. Oh, he's gonna run now.
They're always about on the back of the...
Watering holes like this one on the left make important gathering places for lots of animals. And if you look on the right real quick, you're going to see an okapi, very odd-looking animal, has stripes on his legs like a zebra. They're the closest relative to the giraffe. Tell you a little secret though, sometimes if you go on the Pangani Trail a little later today, you'll see maybe more okapi. Oh, over here on the left, look real carefully. They're going to look just on the other side of this fallen tree. There's actually a black rhino. Oh, there's one on each side, actually. Now, black rhinos are an endangered species, with only about 4,200 left. They're still being hunted by poachers for their horns. That's why we're lucky to get to see a couple, even if they're napping.
Vultures. Look at the vultures.
Take a look above your heads too, those game spotting guys. These will show you all the animals that we could see out here today. We've already seen a few. And if you have an animal in mind, like maybe one of your favorites, to get an idea of whether or not we're going to see it, just look up. All of those animals we could see. We usually have pretty good luck too. We usually do see most of them up there. Alright, well, looks like we're going to exit the forest now. We'll head up this way towards the Salpi River. We want to keep a close look out in the waters up here for Nile hippopotamus. Maybe even some Nile crocodiles, too. Now, hippos are one of the largest land animals. A fully grown hippo can weigh up to 5,000 pounds. Alright, well, I gotta warn you, though, hippos are nocturnal. They're most active at night, so they're usually sleeping this time of day. But we'll keep a lookout for them underwater. That's where they usually hang out during the day. Keeps their big body safe from overheating in this hot sun. I see a lot of birds down there. Some black vultures are very common to the area. Well, let's see if we can find some hippos on the other side. Yeah, there's some hippos. They're coming up on your left. The hippos, they hold their breath about 5 to 8 minutes long, and what they do is they actually come out of the water at night to munch on grass. They eat about 100 pounds of grass every day. So don't worry about the birds. They're not on the menu. There's a peak-backed pelicans on the island. Those birds actually work together to herd fish in the shallow waters. We have a hippo down there.
Are you okay?
Lots of black vultures in the area.
Can't see much more.
Oh, also, guys, we're gonna cross a really old bridge up ahead. This one always makes me a little nervous. So, parents, you might want to hang on tight to the little ones back there. Do remember to stay seated for your safety, too, especially with those Nile crocodiles down below. Tell you what, though, sometimes we see them on both sides. Not always, but you can check. Now, these Nile crocodiles get a lot larger and much more aggressive than their cousins, the American alligator. These crocodiles reach up to 20 feet in length. And they're very real. They just don't move a lot. Alright, we're almost across now. There we go. Made it safely across that old bridge. I just hope we don't have to cross any more of those today.
Come in.
Go ahead, Wilson. Over.
Just wanted to let you know that my ground patrol has seen a lot of elephant activities in the red lately.
What?
You definitely want to check out that area.
Thanks for that tip, Wilson. We'll head that way in a bit. It's nice having an eye in the sky. Well, first, though, you might want to take a look on the right. You can see what's called a baobab tree. That's actually a very ancient tree. We estimate that particular baobab tree to be about 1,000 years old already. They can live twice that, though, up to 2,000 years. Now, also coming up ahead is one of the best views in the whole reserve. These are the Serengeti grasslands. They stretch for several hundred miles throughout East Africa. Actually known as as a super highway for millions of migrating animals every year, like wildebeest and antelope. More famous animals live here year-round, like elephants, lions, and giraffe, which we'll keep a lookout for. On the right, if you look closely in the tall grass, you can see a couple of little impala. Impala look small.
Road.
They can leap about 30 feet across in a single leap. This is all part of the wild Africa we're working together to try and save. Not any more animals around, but we'll keep a lookout. They gotta be around here somewhere. Some of the large cones of earth you guys can see scattered around are termite mounds. Termites make these mounds by mixing their saliva in dirt and clay. Now when they bake in the sun, they're actually as hard as concrete. Elephants like to use these mounds as scratching posts. They do come in all shapes and sizes, including really tall. If you look on the left, look way back just by one of the trees over there, you can see what's called a sable antelope. That's the official emblem or symbol of our reserve. Coming up on the left, these itty-bitty little antelope are Thompson's gazelle, or Tommies for short. Now people often think these are babies because they're so small, but these are actually fully grown. Babies are much smaller, and they don't have horns. Now these little guys only get about 60 pounds at the most. A couple more coming up really close. Well, I see a lot of knocked down trees around. That might mean we're getting closer to elephant country. Elephants knock down trees to eat them, which is actually pretty good for the environment in a way, because the grasses spread more. Giraffes eat the undersides of the trees, allowing light to enter. A large antelope will mow down some of the taller grasses, letting new shoots grow, while little nibblers like warthogs and gazelle trim up the edges. In a perfectly balanced ecosystem, all these animals should have plenty of food to eat, because they all eat different parts of the plants. Look in the bushes on the left. You can see some gray animals in the bushes. Those are white-bearded wildebeest. Now, wildebeest are also known as gnu after sound they make. It's spelled G-N-U, but the G is actually silent. Here's another little Tommy, this time on the right. So for those of you on the right that maybe didn't get a good look last time, here's a little bit of a better view. The huge cattle up here, Ankole cattle. Their horns can reach up to 6 feet in length. And then you see the gray animal is lying down right behind them. That's a waterbuck. The name is misleading, waterbuck. They don't usually live around water. What they do is they use water as an escape route to escape from predators that might be chasing them. Now coming up on the left is the tallest land animal in the world. Some articulated giraffe. This is actually an adult male and a baby giraffe. Looks about a year old. Baby giraffes stand 6 feet tall at birth. They can stand up to 20 feet when they're fully grown, though. Look at the size of that male in comparison. Males go over 2,500 pounds. They're huge. They have to stay seated for me, though. Thank you. Now on the right, there's a Patterson Zealand. It's kind of way back behind the trees. Patterson Zealand are the largest species of antelope.
What is your location? Over.
Near Monkey Point, heading into elephant country.
Keep your eyes open for me. We picked up a baby elephant that was wandering off on its own. We can't find the mother. I'm afraid poachers may be in the reserve.
Roger that, Wilson. We'll keep a lookout for those poachers. Well, on a lighter note, we just entered elephant country, so we'll keep a lookout for them. I'd rather find them. Right about here, sometimes we get some African music on the radio. Let's see if I can find a better channel, though. There we go. That's a good song. Oh, there's some elephants. There's a mother and her calf. Look at the baby elephant. Looks about a year old.
3 up back here.
We're not done with elephant country yet, though. Let's see if we can find some more up ahead. Oh dear. We're gonna have to cross another old bridge. Alright, well, it looks like it's been well traveled on, so hopefully it'll be okay. Alright, parents, hang on tight to those little ones. Here we go. So far, so good. That doesn't sound very good, though. Oh no, hang on. Everybody lean rights! Lean rights! Keep leaning! Oh dear, who's gonna cross this bridge? Almost there. Woo! That was a close call. Oh well, as we say here in Africa, Hakuna Matata. No worries. Made it safely. That's the last bridge I'm crossing today, though. Well, we're at the red clay pits now, like Melissa mentioned earlier. Now you guys can see some tusk marks and footprints down below. That means an elephant herd has been through here recently. Tell you what, let's go see if they're still hanging out in the area. Elephants, they come through there because they'll actually eat small amounts of clay. It's full of nutrients and minerals that they don't find in their normal diets. An elephant's normal diet consists of at least 300 pounds of vegetation every single day. More baobab trees up here. Now, baobab trees are nicknamed upside-down trees because the branches in the air, they look kind of like roots. We're approaching one of the elephants' favorite watering holes up here. Despite their size, elephants are actually pretty good swimmers. They love to play in this water on really hot days. There's another herd of females. Female African elephants will travel together in herds with their calves. The males are usually solitary. Now you see the cows over there? They look like they might be between the ages of 5 and 6. A little older than that baby we saw earlier, but you can still see they're not quite fully grown yet. It takes them 13 to 15 years to reach full size, which is actually 12,000 pounds if it was a male. There's some greater flamingo on the left, which have the lightest color pink of any flamingo species. Now, flamingos get their pink color from their diet. These guys eat krill and brine shrimp, which is full of keratin. It's a beta-carotene in their diet that turns their colors pink. That's why if you ever see a baby flamingo, they're born gray in color. So they haven't had any keratin in their diet yet. Alright, well earlier we got to see some black rhinos, but now we're going to keep a lookout for white rhinos because we're entering white rhino country. Now white rhinoceros represent one of the greatest success stories on the reserve because they were nearly hunted to extinction not too long ago. Today with anti-poaching and wildlife conservation efforts, white rhino numbers have been back on the rise, so we'll definitely keep a lookout. Oh wait, I think I see one over there on the left. Let's see if we can get a little closer. First though, coming up on the right are some ostrich eggs. The largest bird egg in the world. Probably means the parents aren't too far off. They don't usually stray too far from their eggs, so let's see if we can also find ostrich in the area. This white rhino coming up on the left, it's a lot larger than the black rhino. These white rhinos can weigh over 5,000 pounds. Oh, there's two in there.
I see you at the junction. I suggest you go west. It will be worth it.
Roger that, Wilson. I guess that means we better head west and... Oh no, Wilson sees up ahead.
What?
I'll tell you what I see. You gotta look real carefully, but coming up on the left, there might be a cheetah lying down right past the trees. Yeah, I think I see a couple, actually. Cheetahs are the fastest land animals. They can reach a speed of up to 70 miles per hour. Like most big cats, they spend a good part of their day napping, though. Speaking of big cats, up ahead we're approaching what's called a kopie, which is this large rock formation up here. Now kopies are home to a different kind of big cats. Lately we spotted a pride of lions hanging out on these kopies. And I did see one up here. He's coming up on the left. You gotta look at the base of this tree up here. He is napping. It's not unusual to see lions napping. They sleep 18 to 20 hours per day. Yeah, you usually see them napping. I don't see any female lionesses, but I guess they could be out hunting. After all, it is the female lioness's job to do the hunting for the pride, not the males. Well, these are warthog burrows on the left. Warthogs are the largest burrowing mammals found in Africa. You know, they might have spotted a lion back there, though. Oh, there's one. Look at that large pile of rocks. Let's see the skinny tree right by it. It's right in front of the skinny tree. It's also napping. This is that time of day. Here's some little bantabak up ahead. More ostrich eggs as well. Now, the bantabak are the brown antelope. Actually, you guys can only see bantabak today on protected reserves because, unfortunately, they've been hunted to extinction in the wild.
Couldn't tell you.
Doesn't sound good. Alright, what do you guys think? You want to help Wilson stop some poachers? Yeah? Okay then, count us in, Wilson. We're on our way. Oh dear, this does not look good though. Well, I think we know which way the poacher's headed. Must have smashed through these gates. That means we're gonna have to exit the reserve. So everybody hang on tight, cause here we go.
The poachers are heading east. Keep going. This is right up to my control. Over.
Roger that, Wilson. East it is. Oh, I don't like the looks of east. Alright, once again, hang on. This might get a little rough. No sign of the poachers yet. I wonder where they could be. Let's see if we can catch up with them. Hope we don't get too wet, though. Oh, duck! I think we found the poachers. Oh, this does not look good up here. Send one to Wilson. We might be too late. The poachers' camp looks deserted.
Oh, not to worry. You dropped them right into my patrol.
Now that's good news. We're gonna catch up with you, Wilson.
Thanks to you, they are now full safe. How come this on everyone?
Now that's a relief. The baby elephant's safe.
I have to go now. We have to get this baby elephant back to its father.
Of course, Wilson. You go do that. Thanks so much for your help, too. Over and out. Alright, well, Sante's on, everybody. Thanks so much for helping us stop the poachers back there. And for helping us save that baby elephant, too. Although because of that detour, I guess we did have to cut our 2-week safari just a little short. So I'm going to drop you off at the same area I picked you up from. That way, if anybody left any ECVs or wheelchairs behind, they'll be waiting for you just as soon as you get off the dock. Now, if you left strollers behind, just turn to your right as soon as you exit, and that'll take you to the stroller parking area. We're going to go right past some of our wardens posts up here. Jacko! A little bit of a backstage look at safaris right now. Not much. Also, just as soon as you guys exit, if you turn to your left, you're going to go down the Pangani Trail like I mentioned earlier, and that's a walkthrough. It takes about 15 to 20 minutes, but that's where you can see some really cool animals, like my favorite, the western lowland gorilla. You might even spot like an underwater view of hippos, maybe some meerkats, monkeys, birds, fish, naked mole rats. It takes about 15 to 20 minutes is all. Maybe those will copy again too.
March free under the bridge, but it's supposed to have a 1906.
Can't do it, take it off. No. Well, I did good then. Hosing the truck down.
What you gonna say? You did it, you have fun?
Yeah.
That's good. Was there an animal you wanted to see that you didn't get to see?
What's up here?
Silence is good. That's very good.
Yeah. Didn't see no man.
Sometimes people say tigers, and I like to remind them that they're in Africa when they say that. Tigers are actually in Asia, and you can go over to Asia and check out tigers, Komodo dragons, and giant fruit bats on the Maharaja Jungle Trek. Now I'm going to give you a little secret, though, a little secret hint. It's really good to go on that trail at the end of the day because the tigers are usually active. It's